This movie begins in the same enchanted forest where Maleficent once lived. Before we move further, it's worth saying that if someone hasn't seen the first part of this story, they should watch that first, since what happens there connects directly to this tale. In the forest, we see a group of men sneaking into the magical realm to capture one of its rare creatures. Just as they are about to succeed, Maleficent appears. With her dark wings and terrifying presence, she catches two of the thieves easily. But the third one manages to escape with the stolen creature. As he flees, he snatches a glowing flower from the ground. He runs deep into the woods, passing through glowing flowers, until he reaches a hidden passage leading back to his kingdom. There he hands over the creature and glowing flower to a mysterious man, and in return, he is paid with gold. Meanwhile, the people of that kingdom continue to hate Maleficent. They spread lies that she kidnapped Princess Aurora, and some even believe she tried to kill her. The scene shifts to Aurora, who is now the queen. She spends her days surrounded by magical beings, playing joyfully with them and listening to their problems. That is when she learns one of the creatures has gone missing, the very same one stolen by the thieves. Hearing this news troubles Aurora deeply. Just then, the three tiny fairies appear. Wanting to cheer her up, they snatch away her crown and playfully run off with it, hoping Aurora will chase them. As she runs after them, Aurora unexpectedly bumps into a familiar face. Prince Phillip, the same young man we met in the first story. Back then, he was not her true love, but now, his feelings for her have only grown stronger. When he sees her, he finally proposes. Aurora is filled with joy because she also has feelings for him. All of this is secretly being watched by Maleficent's loyal crow, 𝗣𝗹𝗲, who wastes no time flying to Maleficent to tell her everything. The moment she hears this, Maleficent spreads her wings and soars off to meet Aurora. At the same time, Prince Philip returns to his kingdom to share the news with his parents. He tells his father, the king, and his mother, the queen, that he proposed to Princess Aurora and she accepted. His father beams with happiness at the thought of peace between their kingdoms. The queen, however, hides her true feelings. She forces a smile but secretly feels uneasy about the union. Still, she agrees and says, "Then let us invite Princess Aurora and her godmother, Maleficent, to dinner." Back in the forest, Maleficent finds Aurora and confronts her. With a stern voice, she says, "You should have asked me before agreeing to marry that boy." She warns her that there is no such thing as true love, because men always betray women. With pain in her voice, Maleficent says, "The truth is, I am your true love. I am the one who has loved you from the very beginning. I only say this because I want the best for you." Aurora, however, pleads with her. She says gently, "Please don't say that. Just because someone betrayed you doesn't mean everyone is the same." Maleficent looks at her for a long moment, torn between her anger and her love for the girl she raised. Finally, she softens. Seeing Aurora's innocence and kindness, Maleficent reluctantly agrees. The day finally arrives for the two families to sit down for dinner together. Before that happens, we see the queen walking through her castle until she reaches a secret chamber. This place is not an ordinary room. It is an iron factory. Inside, workers are busy forging weapons out of iron. And in the corner, we see the same glowing flowers from earlier, along with the magical creature that was stolen from the forest. The queen walks in and coldly tells the man in charge to hurry up and finish the work. Among the things kept there is also a spinning wheel with a spindle, looking exactly like the one connected to the curse from the past. For now, the full reason behind the queen's secret remains hidden. Meanwhile, Aurora and 𝗣𝗹𝗲, who has taken on his human form, get ready to attend the dinner. Maleficent joins them, and together they travel to the kingdom. The moment Maleficent sets foot inside, the people react in fear. They whisper and hide. Some clutch their weapons, convinced she is a dangerous witch. Maleficent notices their fear, but instead of being upset, she walks forward with a sly smile, almost enjoying their trembling faces. When the three of them finally enter the grand dining hall, everyone takes their seats and the dinner begins. But instead of warm conversation, the queen deliberately stirs trouble. She looks directly at Maleficent and says, "It was you, wasn't it, who cursed this poor girl?" The words sting, and the entire room grows tense. She doesn't stop there. She goes on to accuse Maleficent of killing humans as well. Maleficent replies firmly, "Some of your people entered my forest. They were stealing my creatures and trying to run away." Her voice carries the weight of truth, but the queen ignores it. The argument escalates quickly. The king tries to stop it, telling his wife to be quiet, while Aurora also pleads with the queen, "Please don't say such things." But the queen presses on, her words turning sharper. She asks, "If my son and Aurora marry, then tell me, who will her real mother be?" This cuts Maleficent deeply. For years, she has loved Aurora like her own daughter. And now, her role as a mother is being questioned in front of everyone. Hurt and enraged, Maleficent's emotions boil over. With a burst of green energy, she spreads her powerful wings. The force knocks people back and chaos fills the room. The queen, pretending to be terrified, hides behind the king. But in that moment, the king suddenly collapses to the ground, unconscious. Immediately, the queen points at Maleficent and screams, "She has cursed the king!" The accusation spreads like wildfire, and Aurora, shaken by the scene, turns to Maleficent with pleading eyes. "Please, take your curse back. Why do you always curse people?" She cries. Maleficent is stunned. She whispers, "Aurora, even you believe this? I didn't do anything." But Aurora, caught in the queen's manipulation, does not believe her. Maleficent's heart breaks as she realizes the girl she raised doubts her now. At that moment, soldiers rush into the hall with weapons ready. Maleficent looks at Aurora one last time and asks quietly, "Will you not come with me?" But Aurora says nothing. With pain in her eyes, Maleficent turns and flies out, while 𝗣𝗲𝗲 shatters a window and escapes after her. Just as Maleficent tries to fly away into the night, a soldier hidden among the queen's guards takes aim and fires an iron bullet. It strikes Maleficent, and with a cry of pain, her body plummets into the dark ocean below. Back in the kingdom, the king still lies unconscious, and the entire palace is filled with fear and worry. Prince Phillip turns to his mother, the queen, and says softly, "Mother, please, kiss father on the forehead. You are his wife, you love him truly. Maybe your kiss will bring him back." He believes in the old tales about true love's kiss, hoping it might save his father. The queen, however, makes a strange expression. Inside, she feels nothing for the king. She has no true love for him. She is only a greedy woman, and she doesn't believe in such stories. But, to keep up her act in front of her son, she leans down and kisses the king's forehead. Nothing happens. The king remains unconscious. Aurora cannot bear to see the king like this, nor the tension in the palace. She decides to take action herself. "I will go find my mother, Maleficent. I will ask her to remove the curse," she says with determination. She leaves the castle and enters the forest, searching everywhere. But when she asks the creatures of the forest, they all tell her that Maleficent has not returned, and no one has seen her since last night. Meanwhile, the soldier who had shot Maleficent with the iron bullet is still at the seaside, watching the ocean closely. Suddenly, she notices a mysterious creature rising from the water and carrying Maleficent's body away. Shocked, she rushes back to the queen to give her the news. The queen, alarmed but also scheming, orders her, "Do not let her escape. Stop her as quickly as possible." At the same time, Aurora returns to the castle, unaware of what really happened. A creature had secretly followed her back from the forest and sneaks into the kingdom. That creature eventually finds its way to the dungeon, where another magical creature is already imprisoned, the one stolen earlier. Unfortunately, this new creature is also caught by the same man who captured the first one, and it too is locked away. Aurora, still worried, approaches the queen. "I couldn't find Maleficent anywhere. Has something happened to her?" she asks. The queen hides her satisfaction and replies gently, "There is no need to worry, dear. Maleficent is very strong. I'm sure she's safe somewhere." Her voice is calm and soothing. But every word is a lie meant to keep Aurora trapped in her web of deceit. Out by the sea, the same soldier continues her watch, staring into the waves, determined to finish Maleficent if she ever appears again. The very next day, the queen makes a grand announcement to the people. The wedding of Prince Philip and Princess Aurora will take place in 3 days' time. She tells everyone that this marriage will end all the fighting and bring peace between humans and the creatures of the forest. The announcement spreads far and wide, and even the forest folk hear it. It sounds like an invitation of unity and harmony, but in truth it is a trap. The queen's real plan is to lure the forest creatures into the castle, kill Maleficent, and capture the rest of them. Once that is done, there will be no one left to protect the moors, and the queen will finally claim the forest for herself. Far away, Maleficent's eyes slowly open. She is alive but badly wounded from the iron bullet. As she struggles to move, she hears voices nearby. She sees a group of powerful beings, creatures with massive wings and horns, looking exactly like her. They are the Dark Fae, a hidden race that had long been in hiding from humans. They had taken Maleficent from the ocean to protect her and brought her to their secret refuge. Among them, some begin talking about humans, their cruelty, and how they must prepare for war. Maleficent listens quietly. One of them steps forward and demands, "You must give us your power. Transfer it to us. Show us how to defeat the humans." But Maleficent's eyes flare with anger. Instead of agreeing, She lifts her hand and throws him across the place with incredible force. The leader of the Dark Fae, 𝗟𝗲𝗀, watches this display of strength. Rather than being angry, he smiles. He has been waiting for a sign of Maleficent's true power, and now he has seen it firsthand. To him, this means Maleficent could be the key to finally winning their war against the humans. Now, 𝗟𝗲𝗀's companion takes Maleficent deep inside a dark cave and begins to explain their history to her. He tells her that long ago, fairies, both good and bad, used to live together. But when humans began hunting them without mercy, they were forced into hiding, and many took refuge in this place. As he walks with her through the cave, he shows her a massive stone-like structure that lies perfectly still, almost as if frozen in time. The companion tells Maleficent, "You are one of our descendants. Among all of us, you are the last fairy left with true power. Your strength is far greater than ours, and soon you will reach your final stage. When that happens, you will become the most powerful being in the world." Then he adds something that surprises her. "But to reach that stage, you must learn to forgive Princess Aurora. All your life, you have shown her love and affection, and it takes great courage to forgive from the heart. Whoever can truly forgive becomes stronger than anyone else." Hearing this, Maleficent's face hardens. "No," she says, her voice cold. "I cannot forgive her. I loved her, and yet she betrayed me." Just then, 𝗟𝗀𝗀 enters the cave. He ignores the talk of forgiveness, and instead tells Maleficent about the upcoming wedding of Prince Phillip and Princess Aurora. "This is the perfect time," he insists. "We must strike the humans during their celebration. They will never expect it." Maleficent listens, but remains silent, lost in her own storm of emotions. Meanwhile, back in the castle, the queen continues weaving her lies. She manipulates Aurora with kind words and half-truths, slowly drawing her closer into her trap. Aurora feels uneasy, but also influenced by the queen's clever words. Later, when she meets Phillip, she tells him honestly, "I am only enduring all of this for you. Otherwise, I do not like your mother at all." Phillip listens quietly, torn between his loyalty to both women. At the same time, we see the queen's secret plans moving forward. In her iron factory, her servant experiments with the glowing flowers. He crushes them and creates a strange dust. He explains to the queen, "This dust has the power to kill fairies. It will work even against Maleficent." To test it, he sprinkles some of the dust over a living magical creature. Within moments, the creature burns and crumbles away into nothingness. The queen's eyes light up with delight at the sight. She smiles wickedly, pleased with the results. But her servant warns, "To create more of this dust, we need more of the glowing flowers." Without hesitation, the queen orders soldiers to march into the forest and gather as many as they can. Maleficent soon senses that something is terribly wrong and rushes to the forest. But she arrives too late. The radiant flowers have already been stolen. Staring at the barren, trampled field where they once bloomed, her heart sinks with sorrow. Before she can recover, soldiers hidden in the shadows spring their trap, unleashing a hail of iron bullets. At that moment, 𝗟𝗀𝗀's loyal companion leaps forward, shielding her from the attack. Maleficent quickly raises a shimmering wall of magic to protect them both, while 𝗟𝗀𝗀 storms into battle, tearing through the soldiers with raw strength and fury. Yet in the chaos, 𝗟𝗀𝗀's companion is struck down. Maleficent tries desperately to save him, but by the time they carry him back, it is too late. He dies in front of them, leaving Maleficent consumed by grief and guilt. The next morning, the wedding preparations begin in the castle. The halls are decorated with flowers and music, and the guests start to arrive. Forest creatures, believing this union will bring peace, also begin to make their way to the kingdom. But unseen to them, the queen's dark trap is waiting. At the gates, 𝗣𝗹𝗲𝗀, Maleficent's crow in his human form, tries to enter, but the soldiers stop him. Suspicion lingers everywhere, but the ceremony must go on. Inside, Princess Aurora looks radiant in her wedding dress. Prince Phillip smiles and hands her a flower to impress her, but it is not an ordinary flower. It is one of the glowing flowers from her forest. Aurora stares at it in shock. Why would the queen send her this flower, knowing it belongs to the Moors? Uneasy, she immediately goes in search of the queen to demand answers. As Aurora keeps searching the castle, she finds a hidden door. Curious, she pushes it open and steps inside, only to find herself in a secret chamber. There, in the center of the room, sits the old spinning wheel, the same kind that once cursed her life. The sight makes her stop cold as painful memories of that dreadful night rush back. In that moment, she finally understands the truth. It was the queen who cursed the king, not her godmother Maleficent. Her eyes then fall on two magical creatures locked inside glass jars, struggling helplessly. She rushes to free them, but before she can, the queen's servant stops her. Just then, the queen herself enters. With a cold smile, she begins to reveal her true story. She says, "Long ago, my kingdom was beside that cursed forest. Maleficent's ancestors, those foul creatures, attacked us. Because of them, my father was killed. Even when my brother went into the forest seeking peace, they slaughtered him too. I was left alone, with no family, no one to protect me. I married the king not out of love, but only because I had no choice. But I never cared for him, and now I will take revenge on all of them, on all of you." Aurora's heart sinks at the queen's words, but before she can react, the queen orders her soldiers to lock Aurora in a room. They drag her away and imprison her. Meanwhile, all the forest creatures who had come for the wedding are herded into a large hall, where the queen's servant throws the deadly powder onto them. The magical dust weakens them instantly, their bodies collapsing under its power. Inside her room, Aurora looks around desperately. Her wedding dress lies there, mocking her, reminding her of what should have been the happiest day of her life. Determined to escape, she tears the dress into strips and ties them together, making a rope. She begins climbing down the tower wall, but just then, soldiers rush in. Thinking quickly, Aurora locks them inside and continues her escape. Elsewhere, 𝗣𝗹𝗲𝗀𝗀, Maleficent's loyal crow in human form, finally manages to sneak into the kingdom. At the same time, Prince Phillip sits quietly at his father's bedside, unaware of the horrors unfolding around him. At the very same moment, 𝗬𝗲 arrives with his army of winged warriors, ready to attack. Then, on the queen's orders, her soldiers unleash bombs across the battlefield. Aurora slips past the guards and rushes into the king's chamber, where Phillip remains at his father's side. Breathless, she reveals everything: the queen's deceit, her cruel traps, the imprisoned creatures, and the truth that it was not Maleficent who cursed the king, but his own mother. Phillip is left reeling, his face pale with shock as the weight of betrayal sinks in. Meanwhile, outside, the battle rages on. 𝗬𝗲 and his warriors charge into the kingdom, but they are immediately targeted with the same deadly powder. Bursts of dust explode in the air, burning through their wings and bodies. One after another they fall, destroyed before they can even fight back. Meanwhile, Aurora spots 𝗣𝗹𝗲 and runs to him. She quickly explains that to save everyone, they must open the church doors, where the creatures are trapped. Together they push and struggle to force the heavy doors open. Inside, the three small fairies bravely step in. They block the holes where the powder is being released by stuffing them with flowers. Slowly, the flow of dust begins to stop. The servant girl who was controlling the machine tries desperately to fix it, but she fails, losing her balance and falling to her death. Back inside the castle, Prince Phillip finally confronts his mother, but instead of admitting anything, the queen coldly orders the soldiers to arrest him. Phillip acts quickly. Before the guards can grab him, he leaps from the balcony, escaping into the chaos below. Aurora and 𝗣𝗹𝗲𝗀, however, are captured by the soldiers. Just as it seems hopeless, a dark shadow sweeps over the battlefield. Maleficent has returned. As soon as Maleficent arrives, she wastes no time. She transforms her loyal crow into a massive bear that smashes through the church doors, breaking the locks and freeing all the trapped creatures. With fury and power, Maleficent strikes back at the kingdom's soldiers, determined to protect her people. On the battlefield, 𝗬𝗲 also charges into the fight, unleashing his rage on the queen's army. But then Prince Phillip rushes forward, shouting, "Stop! These are our generals. Don't harm them. This war is my mother's doing, not theirs." Hearing this, 𝗬𝗲 hesitates. He lowers his weapon, and when the general sees that 𝗬𝗲 chose not to kill him, the truth becomes clear. The soldiers finally realize that Maleficent and the creatures are not the real villains. The true evil lies with the queen. Meanwhile, Maleficent confronts the queen directly. Just as she is about to strike, Aurora arrives, pleading desperately, "Please don't kill her. If you do, everyone will truly believe you're the evil one." But Maleficent, burning with anger, replies, "No, Aurora. Step aside." "I won't listen this time," Aurora cries out, her voice trembling. "Mom, please don't do this." The word "Mom" pierces Maleficent's heart. For a moment, all her rage softens, her emotions overwhelming her. But while they're caught in that moment, the queen seizes her chance. She launches a deadly arrow filled with the cursed dust straight at Aurora. Maleficent leaps in front of her, shielding her daughter. The arrow pierces Maleficent, and her body begins to disintegrate into ashes before Aurora's eyes. Aurora falls to the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. The queen smiles with wicked triumph and declares, Your Maleficent is gone forever. Now I alone will rule. But then Aurora's tears fall onto Maleficent's ashes. Suddenly, a surge of magic rises. From the ashes, Maleficent is reborn, more powerful than ever, with immense, glorious wings spreading wide. The queen panics and, in desperation, pushes Aurora from the high tower. But Maleficent swoops down, catching Aurora and carrying her safely in her arms. At that moment, Prince Phillip rushes to Aurora's side. Now fully aware of his mother's lies, he stands with Aurora, showing the world their true love. Maleficent, moved by their bond, finally accepts their marriage. Then, the queen's servant, the one who had captured the magical creatures, steps forward in guilt. He hands Maleficent the cursed spindle that once caused Aurora's suffering. The truth is revealed to everyone. It was the queen all along who spread the curse, not Maleficent. The king, who has now recovered from his illness, watches as Bora's people capture the queen. Maleficent, with a touch of irony, transforms her into a harmless goat, ending her tyranny forever. She then restores beauty to the land, covering the kingdom in flowers. She turns to Bora and his people and says, "You are all good creatures. From now on, you can live freely with us." After this, Maleficent takes Aurora's wedding dress and prepares the young couple for their future. Surrounded by humans and magical beings alike, Aurora and Prince Phillip are finally married. The king beams with joy, and both kingdoms unite in celebration. Peace and happiness return, and laughter fills the air once again. Before leaving, Maleficent gently tells Aurora and Phillip, "I will return when the two of you have a beautiful child of your own." With that, she spreads her mighty wings and flies away, leaving behind a world healed and whole. And so, the tale of Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, comes to a close. A story of love, betrayal, forgiveness, and unity, ending at last with joy and peace.